Madagascar is a conservation hotspot. Some people say the hottest hotspot in conservation, especially for primates. All those mammals that currently occur in Madagascar are endemic. That means that they only occur here and nowhere else in the world. Unfortunately, since man has arrived 2,000 years ago, Madagascar has almost completely been deforested. We are now in a situation that we have between 5 and 10% of original forest cover left on the island. And that means, of course, that many species have already become extinct, and roughly 40% of all lemurs occurring in Madagascar are currently classified as threatened. In Saar-Malasa National Park, where we are working, the flagship species is the blue-eyed black lemur, of which we reckon there are probably only 4,000 individuals left in the wild now. These species need to be saved from extinction, and the forest they are living in needs to be saved as well. There are lots of threats to this forest, mainly illegal logging, forest fires. Also, lemurs are being hunted at a very high rate. And we are actually trying to retain these forests, retain the lemurs in the forests by helping the local communities, improving their livelihoods so that they can then do alternative income generating activities and the pressure is taken off the forest fragments. Blue-eyed black lemurs have striking blue eyes, as the name suggests. It's actually the only species of primate that has blue eyes other than humans, which makes them a very, very charming study subject, of course. The females are much lighter in color, almost of a golden orange when you see them against the sun. It's the lemur species probably with the smallest distribution range in Madagascar, and has seen an immense loss of habitat during the last 30 or 40 years. There's a saying under conservationists that unfortunately for small populations there are no small disasters. So one larger cyclone may actually wipe out a large part of the population, which may mean that they can't recover anymore. So they are in a critical state, and we are trying to do our best to protect the remaining forest habitat so that they won't be gone in 10 years' time. We have tried to get the area here under official protection, which succeeded in 2007 with the official establishment of the Saar-Malasa Ilradama National Park. We want to make it a working national park and not only a paper park. The park is managed by Madagascar National Parks. They are unfortunately ridiculously underfunded, so we are trying to help them, working with local communities surrounding the national park, helping those local communities to improve their livelihoods and find alternative income-generating activities. At the moment, most people basically burn down a piece of forest, plant their rice. After 2 or 3 years, the soil isn't fertile anymore, so they move on, burn down another piece and do the same again. So we are trying to get people to do different forms of rice agriculture, irrigated rice cultivation, for example. We offer courses in that, we offer competitions in rice cultivation. We also improve school buildings, we subsidize teachers' salaries. This is all to improve people's livelihoods. At the same time, we are doing conservation ecology research. We do reforestation campaigns every year. Last year we replanted 80,000 seedlings. And we are assessing the preferences of different lemur species for different trees. We want to know how they are using their habitat, which trees they are feeding from, which trees they need to use for resting, for sleeping, and so on. We actually feed that back into the reforestation program to know exactly how many trees of which species we want to replant and where. And of course we also look at human needs, so if there are fruit tree species that are good for humans and lemurs, we prefer those. The future of the park itself might be going more into the direction of ecotourism. At the moment, this sort of more rural, tranquil area of Madagascar here in the northwest doesn't get too many tourists, but it has quite a big potential with the offshore tourist island of Nosy Be just being a couple of kilometers north of here. If we can manage to find a commercial Malagasy partner for Madagascar National Parks to help us develop accommodation for tourists, maybe on one of the offshore islands that are part of the park. That would help a great deal with attracting tourists, maybe from Nosy Be on boats to come down here. So that would be a good way forward. Lemurs actually are a bit like Hollywood stars among the primates, incredibly nice to look at, very, very beautiful, but a bit stupid. Easy to habituate, you can just go into the forest and after 1 week they regard you as another tree and even jump on you eventually. That's just a great thing to see, and I would really suggest to anybody who hasn't been to Madagascar to come and have a look.